Well, hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. It is so wonderful to have you all with us today, and what an amazing scene to start us off with here in Kenya. My name is Amy, and I will be with you for today's show and throughout the week. So I'm looking forward to spending some time with all of you at home, as well as the beautiful animals that we get to see here at the Waterhole. Now remember everyone that this is a live and interactive show, so please do send through your comments and questions to me. I would love to hear from you, and you can do so in a few different ways, whether that is on the Wild Earth website or the app. You can also chat to us in the YouTube chat stream. Just remember to use @FC, and otherwise you can join the conversation on X using the hashtag Wild Earth. But how spoilt are we with this scene of variety here in Kenya, with some beautiful Masai giraffe, African elephant, as well as some eland, and I think there may have been a gemsbok, a fringed oryx in the background somewhere. Unless they were all eland, maybe some females with the very long horns were deceiving me there in the background. Fuzzy Dunlop, lovely to hear from you. Yes, I'm sure we may. The heat is coming. We've had a little bit of cooler weather in South Africa over the last few days. Oh, there is an oryx coming through, so my eyes weren't deceiving me there. They just moved past. So we'll see. Looks like the sun's shining up here in Kenya and maybe in northern Namibia. I know sometimes we get a pool party happening there, or even in Botswana at Hyena Pan sometimes. So even though it's overcast here in the Lowveld today, it is heating up. It's going to still reach 30 degrees Celsius, so I'm sure that we may get some elephants having some fun somewhere across Africa today. It's always entertaining to watch giraffes drinking. And this elephant is very relaxed as well. You can see that the other animals around are not too worried with an elephant being there. I think they're all very comfortable with each other. Oh wow, look at that massive eland bull. I think all the others look like females. Now these are, I believe, the giant eland species. In southern Africa we get the common eland, and these being slightly bigger in size, but that is a massive male. You can see how much darker is around the belly, much larger dewlap under the neck, much shorter horns but much thicker, and also has this very fuzzy fur between the eyes on top of the face. Catherine, hello, lovely to hear from you. And yes, you are quite right. It has been a wonderful start here at Old Donyo. I love this giraffe that's drinking. Its horns are sort of way too big for its head. They're very thick and almost leaning in towards each other. It's obviously a younger male that still has to grow into his ossicones, I think. Looks like there's also the Kenyan rockagama that's moving through the rocks there. I just saw a flash of orange and blue. The males are always so beautifully coloured. I think the females there as well, actually, both the female being a lot browner in colour. We did, I think it was Reptile Awareness FSC last night. So there we go, mentioning some reptiles. Hopefully we'll get a few more along the way. With summer now, a lot more heat around, we should get some very cool sightings maybe on the waterhole. I'm longing to find a python. Dot art, it is a beautiful, peaceful scene, isn't it? And that's part of why I love this show as well. We get to just relax, chat, enjoy the sights and sounds as well of the waterholes, and just observe animal behavior, which is such a privilege. Mercedes, yes, I believe last night's drive was unbelievable. I saw the footage, some of the clips of that lion kill, which was just insane. And then of course Mawati as well, so I mean it was a real treat. Definitely, as many of you know, doesn't happen every day, so that is absolutely incredible that it was captured live. And also a new pride for me. I hadn't heard of those lions before, so the lion dynamics in the northern sands, fascinating stuff. For those of you who may not know what we're talking about, Wild Earth also has live safari drives every morning and evening from Tuesday to Sunday. Tuesday being for explorers and YouTube members, but from Wednesday to Sundays for all public. Anyway, and last night was an amazing drive. If you want to look up on our YouTube channel that highlights clip, it was phenomenal to see lions taking down a buffalo like that. Let's head over to Djuma. Some Ellies have come for a drink. I don't know if we'll get a pool party, but we will get a beautiful sighting of them having a drink. Ah, there's a giraffe. And I was just thinking about how small that little pool of water has become. But the rains are nearing. We can feel it in the air. Any day now, the heavens will open and water will descend upon the parched earth. Very dramatic, but that is what will happen soon enough. And what a convenient place for a giraffe to feed from, because on top of the dam wall they can already be on top of the trees by just bending down. They don't have to reach up. I'm sure they enjoy that. It's interesting to note in comparison to that younger giraffe bull we were looking at Oldonyo, how big his horn seemed in proportion to his skull. And if we look at this individual, how this giraffe, because of being older and a little bit bigger, he's almost grown into his ossicones a bit more. There's a role of genetics that of course play a part in terms of what size giraffes' ossicones are, but you do find with the younger bulls they tend to have very out of proportion sized ossicones in comparison to their heads that still need to build up more calcium and grow. Bone needs to grow a little bit further. The elephants are still around. Joe, hello, lovely to hear from you. And yes, it is a beautiful scene. Indeed, you can see this bull has his trunk right on the ground, often a sign of when they're taking a bit of a rest. Just completely relaxing those muscles in the trunk. And this camera is so amazing to see the details of the skin. A small little growth there, probably just a fleshy build-up of whatever fatty tissue there that forms those little things. Sometimes we see growths on an elephant. You can also see the hairs quite nicely, which is not something that we often get to notice on elephants, on the trunk. But also if he moves his trunk away again, you can see the contrast of the hair against the lighter background from his sort of his front shoulder area. There we go, you can see them now on the side of his leg and trunk. Ian, you want to know what time of the year we would see giraffes with their calves? So giraffes breed all year round. They don't have a fixed breeding season. Their gestation is 15 months. So they can fall pregnant any time of the year and then have their calves 15 months later. However, generally, if we speak overarching, even with zebra or giraffe or any of the animals that don't have a fixed season, but tend to sometimes have their calves more in the summertime because there's more vegetation available, food, resources, water as well. But I think that is also actually linked to the survival rate because there's more resources available. So we see more calves growing up because there's more resources available to them. Not to say that they don't plan ahead. They fall pregnant when they're in estrus, if they're mated with, and their calves drop 15 months later. So they don't have control over that. It is what it is. But I do think we tend to see more babies in the summer because there's more resources available and the little one's chance of survival is a lot higher. You can also see that this is an older bull. You can have a look at the tattered ears. This particular one has walked through a lot of trees, a lot of bushes, seen a lot in life, tattered his ears like that. A lot of nicks, and that's one of the ways we can also age an elephant. Not to an exact science, but just give us a little bit more of an indication of how old that individual would be. Maybe somewhere between 30 to 40 years. Well, let's head up to Botswana and see what's happening at Hyena Pan. Ah, Wonderful. Pool party, Fuzzy Dunlop, just for you today. I thought maybe we'd see them having some fun here at this location. This is a very relaxed pool party, though, I must say. Everyone's actually, I think, just enjoying cooling down rather than splashing about. Maybe one of the younger ones coming in now will show us some action. Oh wow, there's so many more that we didn't even see there in the beginning. All coming down for some waterhole time. This is awesome. And it is a great Monday, isn't it? What a way to start the week. Wendy, you're loving this kind of content. I'm so glad that you're enjoying it, and it is such a pleasure to chat you through it all. Daniel, that's a great question. And generally, no. In the wintertime, elephants do still come to waterholes, but they definitely aren't as busy as you'd see now. They're mud wallowing, enjoying, splashing themselves. There's one that's already laying down there. And that's because they don't need to cool down as much. It's not as hot in winter. So they do this when it is warm, generally 30 plus degrees Celsius. And that's all about thermoregulation, controlling their body temperature. They're not very well equipped with sweat glands like we are to help cool them down, so they rely on coming to pans and water holes like this to be able to cool down. Whereas in the winter time, although they do still need to drink, they definitely don't spend as much time on average at the water holes. Gail, that is a little bit tricky to say exactly how many herds there would be here. It is most likely made up of a variety, a number of different family groups, and it's impossible to say for certain. Actually, I would maybe think 3 or 4 based on the size. If you think 3 or 4 made up of 8 to 10 individuals. I'm trying to just get an idea of exactly how many Ellies there are here, but I would still stick to about 3 or 4 different family groups. Valerie, you'd like to know if elephant herds or groups ever split up. And yes, it can happen. Not something that happens very, very commonly, but if you think about it, new herds, the fact that we have different elephant herds mean that groups must have split up somewhere along the line. And often it's females who maybe are feeling a little bit of pressure within the herd, maybe wanting to raise her calf separately. Just because of resources. It may be something that happens naturally over time. So there's a few different things that can come, can be taken into account. Generally not. Generally they stick together for life. But it is possible that a female may split off from the herd and actually begin her own herd. love when they rest their trunks like that on the side of the trough. And that one that's drinking now has quite a chipped tusk there. You can see somewhere along the line it snapped off. Not quite a clean break, but it is its left trunk a lot shorter than its right, or its right trunk, sorry, on our left hand side. I think this is another location that will completely transform when the Mapanis get their leaves. I think it's so open and very sort of arid looking at this point in time. But as soon as, well, whether it's the first rains or the Mapanis decide to push through their leaves now in summer, they're already starting. I can see some baby leaves coming through on that Mapani, which the elephant's resting under there. But I think this place will also completely transform into a green. I'm not sure if the grass will grow. That will be interesting if there's grass or not. Sometimes soil among Mapanis can be quite bare, just because it tends to be quite a dense clayey soil underneath the sandy tops. So we shall see. I love to think about how these views can change over time just based on the season. Well, I've enjoyed watching a bit of a pool party here at Hyena Pan. Let's head over and check out what's happening at Tau. These waterbucks are forever busy, aren't they? And this one is really up to its elbows, or armpits, should I say, actually, in the mud here, feeding. Oh, well done, little one. You did that very gracefully, getting out of the hole you were in. There's also a cattle egret I think it is a cattle egret that's moving around there. It looks like it, coloration and size wise. Black crake and blacksmith lapwing. A few Egyptian geese. Oh, a zebra drinking. That's beautiful with the reflection. And a waterbuck bull in the background. Ah, there's the croc as well. We were looking for him last week, or her. Can see the wildebeest moving and some more zebra, possibly all going to end up at the water for a drink this afternoon. A random impala there as well, and it almost looks like they're crossing this barren wasteland to get to water where there is life. But the Dikwe is incredible, and when those rains come, this place just looks like a different, I don't know what to say. It doesn't look like it's the same place, let me put it that way. Like, it's impossible that it would be the same place with the green grass and trees and all of that. Some of the other zebras arrived to join their friend who was drinking already. And I think we're going to have quite a few animals coming for water now, which is just beautiful. Let's head over to Juma. Oh wow, another elephant pool party, everyone. Looks like they have finished off their fun for now and heading off to probably start feeding. This elephant though is looking very comfortable here, having a little bit of a rest. You can see some of that dried mud caked on the ear there. Now the eyes are a little bit droopy. Look at that. I think we can all relate to how this elephant feels at one time or another. If you look at its feet, you can see the weight distribution clearly on the front left foot in comparison to the right. So much larger than the other. Oh, there's one still there drinking. Sandy, I did do a rough count there at Hyena Pan on the elephants, and there was about 50 that I got to. Of course, there may have been more further back that we couldn't see. So I would say round about the 50 elephant number mark. Jan Mello, the rains are coming. I cannot give you an exact date, but it will be soon. We've already had the building up from the heat, some clouds over yesterday and today, some light drizzle this morning. And I believe it is raining in certain parts of the Lowveld. Well, it did drizzle. But yeah, in the next, all I can say is the next few weeks, any day from now, it doesn't look like, it looks, I think, did they say Wednesday and Thursday there's a 35% chance of rain. I'm not sure how hard or how many mils that is going to come down then. Oh, a beautiful view of an elephant's ear hole. Often it's asked where the elephant's ears actually are. Well, there we go. It's in front of that outer ear, the pinna on the outside there. Oh, and a beautiful view of its eye as well. That was gorgeous. I love elephant eyes. They look so kind. Oh, looks like the giraffe has made its way across, perhaps had a drink on its way. And now moving off. Oh, this elephant not too, I don't know, was that aimed at the giraffe? I'm not sure. The giraffe just looks at him like, I'm just walking here, don't worry about me. Perhaps the elephant has got a bit of a fright. Oh, there's a bit of a rumble. Interesting. I know there is, I think, still another Ellie there on the left. Okay, that one's moved further down. Fascinating. I always wonder sometimes what these elephants are thinking. Let's go visit somewhere different and head up to Kenya to Lentor. Oh, beautiful. Our little friend is back, everyone. The unstriped ground squirrel that's come for a drink. Just how beautiful is that with the reflection? Oh, I'm glad we got that before it ran off. Oh, there's a beautiful... Oh, is there two of them there? And there's a beautiful starling. One of the Shelleys or Hildebrandt starling, I think. Oh, there were two squirrels. Beautiful. Oh, are there three now? Oh no, that was a bird. I particularly love this location. It feels so peaceful, very calm. We focus on some of the smaller things. It's found something to munch on there. Maybe they'll come back for another drink, who knows? Oh, is that a terrapin that's out the water? Interesting. Some bigger birds there almost look like the silhouette of a goe bird. I know you get the white-bellied ones up in East Africa, so it very well could have been them. Let's head back over to Old Daniel. Oh, wow. It's all happening here with Ellie's zebra and giraffe. Some brave zebras sticking it out even with that bull coming forward there. It almost looks like the zebras have pushed out the elephants at this point. Ah, there we go, the one's coming back. Oh, I recognize that one on the right with that very large tear in its ear. Almost missing an entire pizza slice. It is amazing how being in a group with a large number gives, I think, these zebras a lot more confidence. Sorry everyone, the feed just froze there. We might be back later, but for now we've headed over to Tembe, which is already turning green. I can't believe it. This grass was not as green last week as I'm looking at it now. So you can hear the weavers are going and summer is well on its way. Penelope, welcome. It's good to have you on board, and I'm glad that you can find some time now to relax for the rest of the show with us here live at the Waterhole. Lovely to see the scene here and hear the birds, but let's head back over to Tau. Not too much has changed here. This waterbuck bull closest to us has a beautiful pair of horns, very large and quite widely set. Egret, some Egyptian geese. I think there were some red-billed teals around as well at some point. The impala's saying hello there, just to the left. Oh, and a warthog. Sanjeev, lovely to hear from you. Thanks for that info. You say that there's a 50% chance of rain and scattered thunderstorms in Botswana, which is great news. Yes, and I think that is also coming later this week further south into South Africa. Like I was saying, I think Wednesday and Thursday there's meant to be some more rain in the Lowveld. See, the croc is still lying there, very much in the same position we saw it earlier. Usually there's at least 2 crocodiles here. I don't imagine the other one's gone off anywhere, with conditions being what they are and water being limited. Looks like a spur-winged goose there, and often some little waders in between as well. That's always good to keep an eye out for. Let's head back over to Tembe for some birding. Oh, hooray. I was hoping we'd be able to find the weavers that have been making this noise every time we pop over here. And thank you so much to the Zoomy who has located the weavers. Hooray. Now, I'm just trying to see. It looks like it could be village weaver, but I haven't seen quite enough of that forehead to say for certain. Sometimes they also make mixed groups, so you can see that this is a spot that they used last year with those older nests, or earlier this year should I say, that are still hanging on there. But some of these males are very busy building their new nests, the green bits. There's one closer to the bottom and the top that have just started. There's one on the right that's already quite far. It definitely is looking like village weavers. They've got very yellow foreheads rather than black. So that yellow goes all the way down to the tip of the beak. And also I found that the black that's on their chest goes quite far down, almost to the middle of their chest, in comparison to the other sort of black and yellow weavers. And this is their purpose in life until about April, when they'll calm down again, to build as many impressive nests as they can to get the ladies to come and inspect them and lay their eggs in that nest. I think I'd like to see a nest being built in slow motion, actually, because to try and see the physical sort of what they're doing physically to build the nest is very tricky to see the detail, but it's incredible what they can do with their bills and their feet and how they're able to weave, hence their name, the nest together. And you can see particularly this one that's sort of on the lower left hand side that's building there, that long sort of black, oh, it just flew off. But take note, if you can sort of focus on one of them and see, it just landed back, there's sort of a longer black line that extends down their chest, and that I find quite specific for the village weaver in my observation. The southern mast and lesser mast don't quite have that same elongated black streak down the middle of their chest. Gee, you are enjoying their colors. They are beautiful, aren't they? The males don't look like this all year. They would have come into this beautiful coloration now for the summer, for breeding. And you'd seen them a lot in a documentary, but first time live, well, there's plenty more weaver action to come this summer, and quite a few different species, which I hope that we get to show you. It's amazing how busy they all are. I've just been sort of watching each one as they come and go. And I must just check, but I think there are some that I thought first these browner ones were from earlier in the year, but I think actually they've just been built for a little while, and that grass isn't fresh anymore and has dried out. I saw one male there with that particular one that looked like it was still adding material maybe inside now, because they look fairly sturdy and well attached still to the tree. And the weavers were busy already, the first one that I saw in September, so it's very possible that these browner looking ones are actually fresh nests from this season right now, but were just made a few weeks ago. There we go, one was just landed there. I was actually just checking some info on these village weaver and their nests, and it says here that each male builds 3 to 5 nests, which is impressive, and it demolishes completely and replaces nests that are not selected by females. Once the nest replace once they turn brown, basically. So if a female hasn't selected the nest by the time it turns brown, it will the weave will then demolish and start again. So there's a few brown ones there. If they haven't been selected, the males will go ahead and demolish and start again. And apparently each nest takes 9 to 15 hours to build. So in one day, basically, they can have a completed nest, which is very impressive. I mean, for me to think of how these little birds know how to construct a sturdy nest, like, it's just instinctual. I mean, it blows my mind how they can construct it, and they know how to make the chamber, how to start with a ring and create the rest around. It really is amazing to think about. Alright, let's head back up to Kenya and see who has arrived at Oldonyo. Interesting, the elephants are here. That one in the middle has such a fascinating tusk that's actually grown completely backward, it looks like. I'm not sure if this is the one we were talking about with the pizza slice. I just didn't take note of the tusk because there were so many zebras around. But that is just, I mean, sometimes there are the odd looking tusks around that grow in weird ways. There was a female whose tusk grew completely sideways and sort of crossed behind her trunk as well that I've seen before. And hopefully it doesn't bother him too much. I don't think so. And there come some more zebras from the background. There's also that big eland bull that we were talking about to the right there. We'll see if the zebras get it right to come have a drink. Oh, beautiful. Sorry, the feed froze there, everyone, but we have come back to Djuma where the juvenile fish eagle has landed in the tree, and isn't it looking so beautiful today? Daniel, yes, it is possible. I think any horned animal or tusked animal has the potential for that tusk or horn to grow out in some sort of abnormal way. I've seen it with multiple individuals, whether it's something that happened from birth or genetically, or it's something that happened after birth that impacted the growth pattern of that particular individual's horns or tusks. It definitely, I think, can happen to any horned animal as far as I'm concerned. It's actually lovely to see that fish eagle, and it's something that often gets confused with another bird called a western osprey, but quite distinct in its patterning, with quite a lot of those darker feathers or spots on the white chest, whereas an osprey, it's a smaller bird but also has more of just a single line or collar running around the chest. But at a glance it can be very confusing. But once you've seen quite a few juvenile fish eagles, it does become easier to identify them. I remember the saddleboard storks that were here for quite a while. I think they do still make an appearance, but what beautiful birds those are as well. And as this pool's gotten smaller, so the birds have become more concentrated around that area. I'm sure the fish eagle has eaten well over the last little while. With the pool being smaller, fish have been a lot easier to catch, I think. And we've had plenty of awesome sightings of that bird with plenty of catfish and tilapias. Let's head over to Victoria Falls. Another pool party happening, but with the warthogs here at the moment. Looks like 3 little piggies, I think 4 maybe, that are all rubbing away. There's also a few birds around. There's yellow-billed storks, guinea fowl, there we go, helmeted guinea fowl, as well as some marabou storks as well. Actually looks like a beautiful day here at Vic Falls. Oh, that stork just sat down basically. How cool was that to see? It's actually interesting to see the warthogs hang around for so long. I'm so used to them really just popping down for a quick mud wallow most of the time, and then they scurry off quite quickly, but obviously feeling very comfortable and safe, content there in their spot. Oh, some other species, great egret as well as grey heron, and it looked like either a saccharine ibis or a woolly neck stalker walking in the background earlier as well, black and white bird. Well, I can't believe we are almost at the end of the show today. It's been a wonderful, relaxing time with you all at the waterhole. And what a way to finish off with some lovely birding around here at Vic Falls. Whiteback vulture. Oh, there's a croc there as well. Right by the marabou stalks. They're very brave. Actually quite a small croc, I think, in relation to the size of the stalk that's standing there. Also possibly further away than what it looks like to us. It can be difficult to judge distance from a particular angle. Well, everyone, we have come to the end of today's show. Thank you so much for joining me and the team here at Live at the Waterhole. It was a wonderful show that went by far too quickly, I think. Luckily, though, we will be back tomorrow, as will I, and I can't wait to see what else we find at the Waterhole. Thank you so much to all of you for your comments and questions today, and I really hope that you have enjoyed yourselves. Remember that we will be back tomorrow as always. So for myself and the team for now, it's goodbye. See you tomorrow.